OK, well, we'll continue to follow those stories, of course, from Gaza. But we can also cross to France 24's Mark Owen, who's in Hostage Square for us in Tel Aviv. Mark, tell us what the situation is there and what's happening around you.
It's a working day, but many people are gathering to honour the release of the hostages. We're getting a live feed with bringing us images from the Gaza Strip. And, of course, commentary going on. Let's just turn around and tell you what we can see. Agam Berger, the IDF, Israeli Defense Force spotter, observer, someone who was snatched on October the 7th, 2023, along with her colleagues who've already been released. She now is being basically paraded in Jabalia, north of the Gaza city, by Hamas. This is signifying her release. They've chosen Jabalia to basically show that they are still present, to kind of show strength on their behalf in some way, shape or form. And this all taking place in front of the Adnan hospital, which has been badly damaged by the Israeli bombardment, which has been more or less ongoing since October the 7th. So that's Agam Berger, 20 years old. An IDF spotter, as she's described as, someone who Israel says wasn't armed when she was kidnapped. She'd been kidnapped in her night clothes along with her colleagues and held for, let me just turn around and tell you, according to the readout there, the red figures you can see, 481 days in captivity. So that's Agam Berger, who's in the process of being released in Jabalia. What's going to happen next? And we don't have a strict timescale on that. We understand that might be around about midday. There will be the release of Abel Yehud and Gadi Moshe Moses. He, of course, is the 80-year-old man whose identity was revealed over the past 24 hours. They'll be released in Khan Yunis town in the south. That will take place. The fate of the 5 Thai nationals, well, obviously we're waiting to see who exactly is released there. They've been added to the deal as a kind of gesture of goodwill by Hamas to move things along in a better fashion. Going the other way will be something like 110 prisoners from Israeli prisons, Palestinians, 21 of whom are on big sentences for crimes that are judged to be extremely serious, and Israel's insisting that they will be deported to a third country. We will obviously fill you in on that one as we get it and bring you the breakdown of who actually has been released as soon as we can have that confirmed. But the news we have from Jabalia is that Agam Berger is on the point of being handed back to Israel, to her army unit, to her family. And, of course, we'll bring you more on the fate of the other 3 hostages and those 5 Thai nationals set to be released later today.
And Mark, of course, another 3 hostages are still due to be released on Saturday. There could still be hiccups, though, couldn't there, amid this very fragile ceasefire? We had accusations, for example, from Hamas overnight accusing Israel of blocking aid. That kind of incident could cause there to be hiccups as this moves forward.
The phrase "many slip betwixt cup and lip" comes to mind because it could take anything to easily disrail this. I mean, clearly what we're seeing in the north of Gaza is hundreds of thousands of people flooding back towards what was once their neighborhood, what once were their homes, and they're finding mostly rubble there. They need 130,000 tents to shelter those people. 33 makeshift camps have been set up to accept those people, but who's bringing in the aid to help them? That's the question. Now, we're raising this on the day that UNRWA, the United Nations Works and Relief Agency, is set to actually shutter its headquarters in East Jerusalem. This at the order of the Israeli Knesset, a law which was passed back in October. January the 30th is the deadline for those offices to close. And all this, of course, comes after it was discovered that a number of UNRWA staff had been involved in the October the 7th atrocity committed by Hamas. As a result of that accusation, an investigation took place within UNRWA. 9 members of staff were dismissed, but Israel insists that UNRWA is basically sheltering more and more sympathizers or active members of Hamas. UNRWA deny this and say that among their massive staff, which is doing a huge job catering for some 5 million refugees across the Middle East, they say basically there are very, very few, and Israel's claims are spurious. So there's an idea of something that could go wrong. On the other side of the region, in the West Bank, there's ongoing Israeli army operations on various communities, especially in Jenin, and where we were filming yesterday in a place called Tulkarm. What is happening there is that the Israeli Defense Force says that it is amassing various explosives. It said it brought in some 150 from Jenin since the operations began, and they are continuing to do their sweeps across Jenin and across Tulkarm. So the people there, many civilians caught up in the, to put it in inverted commas, crossfire, they've been saying that they've been roughed up, mistreated and given ultimatums to leave their homes. So there is a real atmosphere of tension across the Middle East, which again is adding to this idea that the ceasefire is a fragile thing. So in Gaza, it appears to be holding for now, but the West Bank is heating up, it has to be said, and there's more and more tension, especially around Jenin and Tulkarm.
Mark, thanks very much. France 24's Mark Owen joining us there from Hostage Square in Tel Aviv. We'll be back with him, of course, as the situation continues to develop over the next few hours.